Well, hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle Nedwick, and I make healthy lifestyle videos that include some new recipes, some fashion content, some beauty content, a look into my life, and I'm also documenting my journey on compounded Tirzepatide. So if you've been following my channel, you know that I've started a motivational series. So I started going back to the Weight Watcher meetings with my best friend Gina, and each Saturday they talk about a different topic. And I thought it would be kind of cool to share that with you guys because there really aren't that many people who still go to the in-person meetings for Weight Watchers. So it's kind of like you get your own private Weight Watcher meeting. But before I get to that, I have some things I want to talk about. So the first thing, and this one is the biggest one, I have a confession to make. So if you have been following my channel, you know that I bought a supply from Zappy Health that came from Ousia. I was calling it Ousia. It's spelled Ousia pharmacy. I've heard it pronounced Osha. I'm not really sure how you are supposed to pronounce it. But anyway, after I ordered that and received it in November, I found out that pharmacy, Osha, did not have a license for sterile compounding. And not only that, they were not licensed to distribute to 50 states, although they did anyway. And it was this big controversy. And a lot of people have decided to try to get chargebacks on their credit card and are not going to use the product. Now, initially, I thought, I'm still going to use it. I was like, there are people there doing gray, whatever that is exactly. I'm still not quite sure, but you mix it at home. And I thought, if people are doing that, then how bad can it be? But the more I looked into it, the more I got a little nervous about it. Well, 2 weeks ago, little less than 2 weeks ago, but 2 weeks ago, I decided I'm going to try one of my vials from Ousia just to see what happens. And I used myself as a guinea pig. I did not tell you guys because I was afraid of people yelling at me in the comments. But I did end up taking 2 shots of 10 milligrams from one of my vials from Ousia. And here is what happened. So a little less than 2 weeks ago, I decided on Wednesday to take the 10 milligrams from Ousia. And I did it. I measured it out, injected it, and then I kind of waited. And what happened, so for the next few days, I still felt suppression that first week. It was not as strong as it had been. I had been using my vial from Orderly Meds that came from Smart Scripts and Perfect RX. So I know that that was working well. But anyway, so I take this 10 milligram dose from Ousia, and as the week went on, the suppression got less and less. Well, you know, that happens sometimes. So when the next Wednesday rolled around, last Wednesday, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to do it one more time. So I did another 10 milligram shot from the vial from Ousia, and then waited to see what would happen. Well, the suppression just got less and less and less. So what I think happened is this vial, it probably does have some Tirzepatide in it, I'm not sure. But by Wednesday of last week, my appetite and cravings and everything was back on full force, more than I have felt it since I started my very first shot of Tirzepatide. So I really do think there was something not right with the dosage from that vial. And I'm now just a little bit nervous about what to do. I'm not going to use any more. I'm switching back to my vial from Orderly Meds that I know works. And what I think I'm going to do is take my 10 milligram shot on Monday. That'll be 2 days early. And then my plan is to maybe take my shot every 6 days till I get back to that Wednesday date, because that's the day I really like to do it. But that's my plan for right now. But what damage did I do to myself? So I don't think there was anything harmful in the vial. I just think it wasn't potent at all. And it's kind of, I shouldn't say fun, but I've been able to enjoy my meals, enjoy trying different things, enjoying eating out these last few days like I did before I started Tirzepatide. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Tirzepatide. I love what it's done for me, and I intend on continuing to use it. But I did gain weight. So over the course of the last almost 2 weeks, I gained 2.2. Now, that's okay. It was a lesson. You know, I spent $989, I think, for those 3 vials from Ousia. And I just couldn't see discarding them because, by the way, I had decided not to do a chargeback on my credit card and I let the time go by. So I didn't want to lose the $1,000. But the way I look at it is, if I'm using this and it's not doing anything and causing me to get my appetite back and to gain weight, then it's not worth it. So my plan going forward, I have 3 vials, 3 full vials from Orderly Meds. And then after that, I have 6 vials from Hallandale. Now, if you recall, I had placed a second order through Zappy Health right before the Ousia scandal began. And they sent that prescription to Hallandale, and it's for 15 milligrams. But with their formula, they do, I think 10 milligrams is 1 milliliter. So you would have to do 2 shots to get to 15 milligrams. So 2 vials is actually a month's worth if you were on 15 milligrams. So I'm going to completely skip over the remaining vials from Ousia, and when I'm done with my Orderly Meds vials, I'm gonna go ahead and start using the Hallandale. Now, I wish I could flip them because the vials from Orderly Meds are stronger consistency. They are 10 milligrams is 50 units as opposed to Hallandale, where 10 milligrams is 100 units. And it would be better to have the Orderly Meds ones as I increase in dosage. However, their bud date is not as long as Hallandale's. Hallandale's has a year bud date, so I'll just deal with it when the time comes. So I'm a little disappointed. I'm upset that I'm out $1,000, but my plan going forward is to finish up my stockpile, and then I think I'm just gonna go name brand. As you know, the FDA just took semaglutide off the shortage list. So I didn't do a special video because, you know, all the regulars already did their videos talking about it. I expected this to happen, and we're gonna see the same things happen with semaglutide as we did with Tirzepatide. I am sure there's going to be a lawsuit. I am sure that the telehealth companies are going to try the dosage switching and adding B vitamins or glycine to their formula to try to get around the FDA rules, and we will just see. Now, I watch Allie from Fit Flavor Fun. I'm sure you probably do too if you're watching me. And I just watched her video that she put out on Friday, and she highly encourages people to stockpile if they can. Now, I'm interested to see, she's going to do a video, but it was my understanding she was type 2 diabetic and was on the name brand that her insurance covered. but apparently she has switched to compound, and I'm curious to know why. So I'll have to stay tuned for that. But she's going through Mochi Health, and she has a $40 off thing in her latest video. So if that's something you're interested in, I would check her out and look in her description box for that code. I haven't used Mochi, and I don't have a discount code. I am with Orderly Meds, and they do have a special going. It's $100 off if you are a new customer. And I do have a referral link in my description box below. So if you are not an Orderly Meds customer and you want to order multiple vials, then go ahead and click on that and you would get $100 off. And it would give me a $100 credit. So like I said, win-win. Anyway, that was my brief update. I did an experiment on the Ousia vial and found it to be lacking potency. So I am backtracking a little bit because now I have to lose that 2 pounds plus. So I know I can do it. Like I said, I'm going to start with my Orderly Meds vials on Monday. So another matter of business I would like to address is my last video. So you guys, I only got about half the viewers for my last video, and it was a what I eat in a day, but I also did what I had told you I was going to do, and I talked about my case that I had going to trial, and I told you guys all about it, and I thought it turned out really well. Well, apparently I didn't do my title catchy enough because it just did not get the views. So if you are watching this, please watch the video I just did. I will link it in the description box below. I also did a fabulous recipe. I used Boursin cheese and made Boursin pork chops, and they were absolutely delicious. What I didn't tell you in that video was I really had little to no appetite suppression going on, so I was able to really enjoy it. I encourage you to check that video out. So now on to the motivational portion of this video. And I've been liking doing these so that I can publish this on Sunday and give you guys some inspiration to last your week. So today's topic at the Weight Watcher meeting was heart health and healthy fats. And I took some notes. I've got my iPad here. So essentially, when I walked in, on her little board, she had heart to heart, and she talked to the group, and basically she talked about the benefits of good healthy fats as opposed to unhealthy fats. And all fats are not created equal. The best fats for you to consume are unsaturated fats that you find in plants and seafood. They are actually heart healthy. And unsaturated fats, and this was something I didn't know, I found this quite interesting. Unsaturated fats are liquid at room temperature. So you've got your olive oil, your avocado oil, that sort of thing. Saturated fats, the bad kind or not as healthy kind, is solid at room temperature. So you're talking about your butter, your coconut oil, and that sort of thing. So she went through some examples where she threw out some different foods, and then she quizzed us as to whether or not we thought they were healthy or not so healthy. And the first one she did was cheese. Now, obviously, cheese is a solid, so it does have some saturated fat in there. So that was less healthy. Well, we all know that. She talked about an avocado. Was that healthy or less healthy? Avocados have good, healthy fat. So I think we all know that anyway, plus they're delicious. Coconut oil. Now, I had always thought that coconut oil would be one of the healthier oils, but in fact, it is not. It is in a solid form, so it does have saturated fat in there, and it is considered less healthy. It has the same calories as olive oil and the like, but it has more saturated fats. Then she talked about eggs. Now, eggs got a bad rap for a while because they were thought to make your cholesterol levels rise. But it turns out that they are not bad for you. So that won the category of more healthy. And eggs have good cholesterol and they help your body produce good cholesterol. So eggs are not bad for you, contrary to what they were saying maybe 20 years ago. She talked about butter. And of course, butter is a solid at room temperature. So it does have saturated fat. It is less healthy. However, it is still healthier than margarine. So we talked about the craze in the 90s where everyone cut out fat. And these lower fat margarines, they have a bunch of chemicals and other stuff that isn't really good for you. So between the choice of butter or margarine, butter is the healthier choice. Then she talked about how to get the heart healthy fats into our diet. And basically, the upshot of the meeting was a little goes a long way. So you want to have a little bit of the good fats. So, for example, you can make your own salad dressing. She said the Italian restaurants have it right because they bring out the oil and vinegar or oil for dipping your bread in, which is healthier than butter. So you can try to make your own dressing. And my mother always used to make her own dressing, and it was so delicious, and I never got the recipe. I have tried the Italian dressing mix that you add to olive oil and vinegar, and that's pretty good. Very close to what my mom used to make, but she did it all on her own with her own spices, and I really wish that I would have learned what that recipe was. But anyway, so you can get the healthy fats in with salads. You can also sprinkle olive oil on roasted vegetables and roast them in your oven. That would be a good way. You can have nuts and cheese in moderation. She talked about shredded cheese. Now, if you're buying shredded cheese at the grocery store, it is coated so that the shreds won't clump together. It is much healthier, she said, to grate your own cheese. And I know this. I am guilty of buying the shredded cheese for convenience. But if you have the time, it is better for you to grate your own cheese for recipes. She also talked about some cheeses such as blue cheese and feta cheese, where a little goes a long way and brings a lot of flavor to your foods. So I love both of those. As a matter of fact, I haven't had blue cheese in a while. I used to really like to have blue cheese burgers. And now that the lean ground beef is 0 on Weight Watchers, I'm thinking of trying to make a couple patties and put some blue cheese in with the patty and freeze it. So that might be something I'll be making in the near future. So basically, you want to have a well-rounded diet and you want to be able to eat satisfying food. And incorporating the healthy fats will help make your food taste better and be more satisfying. She said, life's too short for crappy food. So she ended the meeting, like she always does, asking us what goals we are setting for the week. So let's talk about that. I have so many things I want to change. I'm anxious to take my shot on Monday and start feeling the suppression again. So I want to make sure that I am tracking, that I'm making good food choices, counting my protein, drinking my water. But one of the things I'm going to focus on this week is exercise. I am going to start walking again and doing some strength training. I also want to start doing my videos that I have saved. I have a playlist in my description box below if you're interested in some of the videos that I'm going to be trying. But at least for the time being, I need to get on my treadmill or my walking pad. And my goal is to do it at least 4 times this week. So when I come to you next Sunday, I will report back whether or not I managed to walk at least a half an hour 4 times a week. So why don't you guys commit to that with me? Why don't you put in the description box below what type of exercise you're going to do this week and how many times you're going to do it. So that about wraps up my video for today. If you've made it this far and you've enjoyed this video, please put an emoji of a tennis shoe for our goals of exercise coming up this week. And if you like this video, please like it below and subscribe to my channel. And tick that notification bell so you are alerted every time I upload a new video. All right, guys, I wish I had better news to report, but I am still glad that I did my experiment with the Ousia vials, because if I hadn't, I never would have known. And now I know that I am not wasting $1,000 on vials that are not potent enough to help me. So I am glad that I did that experiment. It did give me some peace of mind and gave me some direction on how to proceed. So hopefully I'll take that shot on Monday and I will report back as to how everything is going. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you next time.